Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome to Living Electric.
We're both content creators and electric vehicle enthusiasts.
And through this podcast, we hope to share our experience with owning electric vehicles and help you join the electric life. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 6 of Living Electric.
6.
We're on 6, right? Okay.
Yeah, season 3.
We're back. We're here with myself, Brandon, and Tyler is joining us again. And we're here to kind of recap our trip this past weekend. So we all took a trip out to Pasadena. Our friends over at Out of Spec Motoring were hosting an EV Media Summit was kind of the official name, but very kind of like wasn't like a big official event or anything like that. Definitely a cool gathering because we got to meet a lot of their creators. But yeah, it was a cool experience, and we're back now, so we're here to talk about it.
I think just slightly jet lagged. Potentially.
Still.
Yeah. Definitely still working through that, but it was fantastic. It was such a great opportunity to meet other content producers and, get a chance to drive EVs that some people haven't even had a chance to, get behind the wheel of.
Or even see.
Yeah, or even see.
Yeah.
So definitely want to give a thank you to Out of Spec and, Kyle and the team for having us.
Definitely. Yeah, so we met... let's run through the list of everybody we met there. Let me know if I forget anybody. So we met mach-e Vlog was there. Misco
Patrick
Electric.
Yep.
The Kilowatts. We had Ryan was there and his cinematographer, is that right? Cinematographer.
Cinematographer. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Let's just clear jet lag. It's all jet lag.
It's still jet lag.
So both of them were there from the Kilowatts. Obviously the whole Out of Spec team. Who else am I missing that was also there?
Oh, there was Rich from RSEV.
Yeah, Rich from RSEV was there.
There was Will from F the Pump.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yep.
Marty from Tesla SoCal, Alex Guberman from E for Electric.
Yep.
And Brandon and Kaylee from...
that's right. I completely...
Brandon, Flash, and Kaylee.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're EV Nomads or something like that on,
EV
on
Nomad.
YouTube.
Yep.
There was Drew, who I can't remember his wheel company name, where he makes the aftermarket wheels for Tesla.
Is it the Martian wheels?
The Martian wheels.
Yeah.
And there was Uli from
Uli.
Germany, or Uli from Germany.
Yeah.
Which I also found out today, he also makes aftermarket wheels for Tesla. Like, they're like the super aerodynamic wheels. They're actually really cool looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just send a link so we can include that. But I saw them today. I'm like, these are really cool.
Yeah, those are really cool wheels. And I'm pretty sure that's the majority.
Oh, Dominic from... Was that Living Electric? Or
We're Living Electric.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
Living Electric.
Oh, my
Oh yeah, Dominic from Inside EVs was there.
Inside EVs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my brain is like...
I'm like, I think we're Living Electric.
We are. Yeah, Dominic.
All right, there's KP from Nissan.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
KP from Nissan.
Oh, regular EV Dad was there.
EV Dad was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember, but there was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people. Yeah. I lost track, honestly. Like I'm pretty introverted, so I was just focused on my filming for the most part. I feel like you all really did the rounds and got to know everybody a lot better. So.
We did have Calvin from Porsche who bought the Taycan.
You're right. Yeah.
And then we also had the 2 Rivian employees, which I'm sorry I can't remember your names off the top of my head. They brought the R1T.
So.
Yeah. They weren't.
Oh, and Jesse, the individual that brought the EQS that kept it clean for everybody.
Yeah.
So I want to give him a big shout out for making sure the car was sanitized and good to go for us.
Yeah. Mercedes, give them a raise.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then the Archimoto.
Oh, John. Yeah, from Archimoto.
Yep.
That's right.
It was a big event, and it was such a great opportunity to meet everybody. Like, I think my favorite thing of the event is just how everybody like really came together about their love and passion for content creation as well as electric vehicles, and kind of seeing it from the perspective of being behind our cameras, like seeing how they record their videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was really cool. It was definitely interesting seeing that peek behind the curtain. What did I just lost my train of thought? But Tyler made some point about that when we were on the trip. I think it was along those lines though, like seeing how people make. Oh, it was maybe it wasn't Tyler, but somebody's like, it's nice being able to record and not feel weird because like everybody's recording.
Yeah.
Because usually when you're out in public, it's like even if you're in a public setting where like people can do whatever they want, it's kind of weird to like turn the camera on, especially if you're like vlogging or something. It can be a little awkward.
I feel like the first day when it was like, okay, go record, and I was watching Ryan from the Kilowatts, and Ryan, if you're listening to this, I was just like, oh my god, we gotta record. Ryan is like, I see Ryan recording, we have to go record. It's almost like a game show moment, like just pure energy.
It kind of felt like that. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what are we recording?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But lots of cool vehicles there too. We'll run down the list real quick. We had the new Nissan Leaf that was there. Yep. The Audi Rs E-Tron Gt. Did I get that all in the right order?
You did, yes. Yep. Yeah.
We had an all-wheel drive Volkswagen ID4. We had two Mustangs were there. We had a Mustang Mach-E GT and a Mustang Mach-E GT Performance.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Volvo XC40 Recharge, and the Archimoto three-wheeled vehicles, and then the Mercedes EQS, and then Rivian showed up for like an hour on Sunday. It felt so quick. I feel like they were in and out like a freaking ghost or something.
Yeah. I feel like you just watch them drive up and you're just captivated, and all of a sudden they're gone. It's like, you know. Yeah.
And then we rented a Polestar 2 for the weekend.
Yes.
So that was our travel car for the whole weekend. So do we want to maybe start with that vehicle, kind of our initial impressions, hopefully not spoil our videos on it.
Right. We'll just leave it with one word. Good.
Yeah.
Well, what were your thoughts on the Polestar besides my driving through Los Angeles?
No, I think we need to talk about that.
We do. We do.
Yeah, so Polestar 2, definitely enjoyed the minimalist interior. It was really familiar coming from my Model 3. I think I really like that. I don't always like things just like buttons and switches and stuff sitting out that you're going to hit once and then never touch again. That's me personally. I know that's not what everybody likes, but I really like that in the Polestar. I was impressed with the Google interface too. I thought it was really well laid out. I think that's what makes Polestar unique is their UI and their interface and that sort of thing. So only thing I didn't like, which you all can probably attest to, is the performance upgrade we were like kind of less than enthused with.
Yeah. I definitely liked obviously like the performance in terms of like the acceleration, but the suspension was rough. But I know it's adjustable.
Yeah, I think it was probably set in like the firmest setting. Just in talking with one of our friends that has a Polestar 2 with the performance pack, and I was telling him about how bumpy it was, and he was like, it must have been in the firmest setting possible, because he has it in like nominal, which is like comfort in a way, and he said it's completely smooth. So, but yeah, like I remember on the 110 and the 5, whenever Brandon was driving, I was like, this is so bumpy. Oh my god!
Here's the transition into the driving to Hollywood story. Do you guys want me to tell that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So on was it Sunday night we did that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sunday night, kind of the event wrapped up, and we drove up Angeles Crest for a little bit, and then Brandon and I swapped places because we were going to drive over to West Hollywood to go check out the Lucid store.
Yes,
Tyler's rocking a hat right now too.
Yep.
So shout out.
Which
to
is
Lucid.
another car add to the list.
That's right.
The Lucid.
Yeah. That was. I can see why Tyler normally drives on vacations.
Well, to be fair, this was your very first time in California, period.
And the very first time driving the Polestar.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to to give everybody, you know, kind of like a background, I don't typically like to drive in city traffic. It makes me nervous. I can do it. It's just, I like to do it by myself, so I'm not like, you know, trying to like kill anybody else. But
hopefully avoiding to kill anybody.
Yes, hopefully. So we were driving to West Hollywood, as Alex was saying, to see the Lucid, and we got stuck in pretty bad traffic, and I kept taking wrong turns and getting lost, and going into the correct lane miles ahead of time instead of what you guys wanted me to do.
It's proactive.
Yeah.
I like to stay in one lane. But, you know, you guys survived. I mean, we're recording this. So
I think we should make T-shirts, to be honest.
Right. But overall, I would say that the Polestar is a very impressive car. Some of the fit and finish is a little concerning, like the squeaking we were hearing. But I really think that that's just because of the suspension and like the way that it was tuned prior to us getting the car.
Yeah, that had to be the weirdest part, because otherwise it was like a beautiful car. Like materials looked really nice. It was like the interior was really well finished. Like everything else about the car seemed great. It was just the suspension got like real squeaky after a couple days, and that's probably it too. If somebody tried to adjust it or mess with it, it could have screwed something up if they didn't do it properly.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about the Nissan Leaf next?
Yeah. My dude, the freaking funniest part of that weekend was when KP was going over the Leaf, because we, at the beginning of each day, we kind of did a little tour of the cars. And then if there was a manufacturer representative there, they kind of gave a quick overview of it. And we had talked about all the cars, and we ended with the Nissan Leaf so KP could talk. And the first words out of his mouth were like, "This is the 2022 Nissan Leaf, definitely going to be the Audi's biggest competitor here today."
I know.
I freaking lost it. That was the funniest thing ever, because you knew everybody was like thinking it, because the Nissan Leaf was definitely like out of place there.
Yeah.
So that was just so funny.
It was.
It's true. I mean, well, we didn't get a chance to drive the Audi, but we got a chance to sit in the Nissan, and it was pretty comfortable. It was, yeah. I can't bash the Leaf. I think it's a fantastic car.
I know, that's the thing, is like we were test driving some like insanely expensive cars and some like very high end cars. And honestly, like the Nissan Leaf competes with those in a way, like especially on like materials and stuff. Like it felt very, very premium on the interior. Might not have the performance or like this crazy range or anything like that, but like KP was telling us, like this is a good, like your everyday EV. This is a like good car to own as maybe a second car too, if it's just for getting around town or short trips. Like it's still a very capable car.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of that specific one was the color. It was the, I'm going to get this wrong, solar flare, no, what is it? Solar flare, no, solar drift chroma flare? Is that what the color was?
Solar drift
chroma flare. Yes. If anybody's listening from Nissan, maybe kind of, you know, cut that back.
Shorten the name.
Maybe just solar orange. It was a beautiful color. It was like almost like a rustic metallic orange color.
Like a burnt orange, almost in a way.
It was beautiful, especially in the California sun. Like it was very pretty.
Definitely.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, the only bad part about that one is for some reason they didn't get a release to like let us drive it or check it out. So people kind of left it alone. But y'all did a video on it, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. With lots of Leaf jokes. So
we did lots of
right.
puns. So get ready.
Yep.
So what about the ID4? Because that's kind of your daily driver for the both of you. What'd you think about the all-wheel drive version? Because y'all have the... Is it front wheel drive or rear wheel?
Rear
wheel drive.
Okay,
yeah.
rear wheel?
Yeah. Rear wheel. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. So just to like give everybody, you know, like a background on the ID4 all-wheel drive is when they add the extra motor to the front axle, it adds 100 horsepower to the vehicle, which I heard from, you know, watching videos and like other people that drove it, that it made a difference. And it made a difference. Like we noticed immediately that there's a clear difference between our vehicle and that one.
It's like even getting in the ID4, which I take to work, I got into it today. I'm like, there's a power deficit here. Like, you know.
Ooh, that's a good word.
It's
deficit.
a good word, deficit. It's just like, I mean, obviously, it's peppy enough, but I think power-wise, I prefer the all-wheel drive. However, I do not like any of the gloss black that was in the Pro S, because our first edition has a matte white finish, so you don't see any fingerprints anywhere. And the gloss black was everywhere, and it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could not do that.
So many fingerprints and I like
Is that the only option for the all-wheel drive is the gloss black? Or do they have other interior options?
I think that's the only option for everything except ours, like the first edition. Like that chrome or that gloss piano black is in every vehicle.
Like I know, like for those who are listening, this ID4 was the dust blue metallic, just like our first edition. But this one had the black and brown interior. You can also get a light gray, but that still comes with like a black, like gloss black accents. So the first edition is the only one that has like matte white, which I actually really like.
yeah, I do too. It makes it look cleaner.
It does.
Yeah. But the power was there. I mean, that was one like immediate notice. Like it was enough to honestly throw you back in your seat. I mean, most electric cars can do that. But like that was like, holy crap, there's a huge difference. Yeah. What were your thoughts on it since you've been in ours?
I was not expecting how much performance it was going to have, because we had driven a lot of fast cars that weekend, and I think that was kind of one of the later ones that we hadn't gotten time to get to yet. And we hopped in there, and I think Tyler was driving, just punched it at the green light, and I was like, "Oh, I was not expecting that." So, because I've driven the, obviously I've ridden in yours. I drove one at some test drive event here in Columbus, and those both, I think the one in Columbus was definitely a front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, single motor. So I was very impressed with it. Like, definitely would prefer the all-wheel drive over the rear wheel. I'm not sure what the price difference is on those, but I think if you're wanting performance and want a little extra kick, I think it's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I'm like thinking in our head like how we're going through this list in terms of like prices of vehicles, because obviously we drove some very expensive things this weekend. What about let's save the EQS for last. How about we do that?
Okay.
That works.
Let's do that.
What about the Archimoto? It's a for those who don't know, it's a 3-wheel vehicle with 2 motors on the front axle, so it's front wheel drive with 1 tire on the back. Can sit 2, and it's like a fun little FUV. I think that's what they call it, a fun utility vehicle. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was fun, like the like the name says. Honestly, it felt like an e-bike just with a lot of extra power. Because I believe their specs say it can go up to 75 miles per hour, which is just like crazy. For something that small. Like, I don't know if I would even feel safe going that fast in like a little like golf cart type thing.
Could you imagine going down the highway like, hey?
That's insane. Yeah. I'm sure other people would have fun with it, but I don't think I would.
I couldn't do that.
But yeah, they were fun. Like, you could attest to this. I'm sure there was people riding around the parking lot like all day, zipping up and down. Like, they were fun. The only thing I didn't like, and I think we both agreed on this, is I don't think they had the like variable steering down yet, or I forget what that's called.
I think he called it torque vectoring or torque steering.
Torque steering, I think is what he called it.
Yeah, so at like lower speeds, it's easier to turn the wheel, because you did have to be moving like a few miles per hour to like properly turn and like make sharp turns at low speeds. So that was probably the only part I didn't like. Plus just the obviously like how small it is. Like, I don't think I would want it for my daily life.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that aspect with that one con with the steering. To be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be so mechanical. I thought that there would be some assistance. But I could see where it'd be fun, like, where they sell it, like in Key West and, like on the West Coast, beach towns. I think it's a fun little car trike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best application for it, and I think they're already doing this with a lot of them, is just the like delivery vehicles for local deliveries, like in city streets, because this thing would be awesome. Because it's got a nice little storage compartment in the back. If you're like zipping between restaurants and dropping food off or whatever, I think that's a great vehicle for that. And I don't think we mentioned, but they did say they are releasing a software update to fix that like low speed steering and kind of help correct that. So that was good to hear that they're continuing to develop it and improve.
By the way, did you save the photo of Alex and I on the Archimoto?
I have it somewhere, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen it. The photo of you and I on that, Alex.
Oh my gosh. We got to tweet that soon.
I'm going to post that on LinkedIn.
I need to find that because I know I saved it.
I've been meaning to write a LinkedIn post about this weekend. I can check after. I was just curious. It'd be fun to put that in the video podcast. If you can't find it, it's okay.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I know the Archimoto has like different like variants, and they obviously had like the 2-seater with like the little cage / roof, whatever you call it. Like I know they have like they have like a roadster one where you have to wear like a motorcycle helmet, and they have like a delivery one. They have one for like fire and police.
Yeah, the first responders.
Which is pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's really cool. Personally, I feel like I'd rather just have an electric motorcycle at that point than a trike like that. Like I think for the price, because what was it like?
It starts at $17,900, I believe.
Yeah. And
there's talks that they will be they'll qualify for the new federal tax credit that's going to be coming out eventually. I say eventually because we still have no words on when that's being confirmed.
Yeah.
But I mean, essentially, like if you could get one of those for under $10,000, it could be a fun run to the grocery store, like run and grab coffee.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
Yeah.
I think my problem with it was the steering was my biggest problem, like everyone else's, it kind of felt like. But then I just don't really feel like it's my thing either. It was cool to experience, but it just isn't my type of machine to be on.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Okay, so we got the Archimoto. You want to do the Forge Mustangs?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, got both of those.
Yeah, let's talk those. Because I think
we spent the most time with both of those too.
Yeah.
We got the most driving in, most time with them.
Yeah. I definitely think out of all the cars this weekend was my favorite was the performance version of the Mach-E GT. Just to give everybody details, there was a Grabber Blue Mach-E GT, and then there was a Cyber Orange Mach-E GT Performance. So the difference between those is that the non-performance has different rims, different seats, as well as different power output. And then the performance has more sportier seats, more grippy tires and rims, and then a higher power output, like a slightly higher power output.
I think it's just more torque, if I remember, and that was it.
Yeah, slightly more torque.
But the biggest difference was the MagneRide suspension.
Yes.
Which I think we could easily tell made all the difference on Angela's Crest.
Yes. That. Yeah. So we got a chance to take both of those up Angela's Crest Highway, which for those who don't know what that is, it's this like beautiful, really fun highway that's right off of, I would say maybe to the northwest of Pasadena, more like to the north.
Yeah,
if I know my directions.
Northwest.
Yeah. Where a lot of car enthusiasts, go and like they get a chance to like test their skills and like pretty much like put their car to the ultimate like driving test. So we got a chance to. I think we did like 5 or 7 miles up the highway with both of these vehicles.
It was a while, yeah.
Yeah, and Alex sat in the back for the first trip, and then moved up front.
I did.
Yeah. I personally, I loved both of them. I mean, the non-MagneRide suspension GT definitely felt rougher in terms of how it handled the bumps.
I did not like how that one drove at all. I think it was... I mean, Alex could attest to the back seat when I hit a bump going down. Like, when we were going back down Angeles Crest, I hit a bump so hard, it made the car really unsettled.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It did. I didn't feel safe. Like, I've been racing cars for a bit, but the MagneRide, we hit that same bump, and it was super smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I like the seats better in the GT over the GT Performance.
Yeah. I can attest to that.
I just like the materials better, I think.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
I agree. Yeah, I got to experience a lot of it from the back seat, so definitely feeling that suspension a little bit more. The just regular GT, it was just super bouncy, and like Tyler was saying, we bumped that. We hit that one bump, and like you could feel the vehicle kind of like slide around for like a brief second, and you're like, oh, is it gonna like resettle, or are we gonna go sliding somewhere? So that was a little unsettling. Obviously, we were probably pushing the car a little bit more than your everyday driver is gonna be doing, but it's good to know that like in those situations, what's gonna happen. So definitely, I think if you're going to like upgrade to the GT, I think going full on performance is the way to go, because that MagneRide suspension is really incredible, because if I remember right, I think you explained it to me in person, we were there, it adjusts like hundreds of times per second based on like conditions around the car and what it's feeling, so it can adjust things. So definitely more adaptable for racing or bumps or anything like that.
Yeah, that car just blew my mind. I really want one now. Yeah. It was that, and then the Rivian.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. I think it was very clear after spending time with both those cars how why they've been so popular. I've only spent like a couple hours with one, but actually at this weekend spending multiple hours, almost like a full day with some of these cars. You really start to see why they've been so popular, and more and more people are buying them. I think it's definitely a great like alternative to a Tesla Model Y or something like that. If you're still wanting that kind of kick and that performance, but either don't want to go Tesla for whatever reason, or just like Ford better as a brand, I think it's definitely a car I recommend to people.
I can agree. I'm going through the list in my head. Do you have the list written out?
I just have pictures up of them. So I've been kind of scrolling through, so I remember what they are. But I think we've hit them all except for the Audi, unless you want to do Rivian first.
Oh, let's talk Audi. Since I want to know your thoughts on that, since you got a chance to drive it.
That's true. Yeah. So I got a chance to drive the Audi RS E-Tron GT. Super high performance car, feels like an Audi but also feels like an EV, which is like ideal. Like I'm a big fan of Audis. That was actually what I was looking at before I bought my Scion. I think I was between like an Audi and a Scion.
Oh, really?
And ended up going with the Scion because I think it was a lot cheaper. So but I've always really liked Audis. I was really impressed with that car. Super high performance. It really felt like a cockpit sitting in there, which I really like more sports car feeling than any EV I've been in. I think the closest would be like a Model 3 kind of size car, but there's not other like really like sports car feeling EVs right now. And that was cool to experience, because you sit down really low, like it's a very low car, really tight steering, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not as much of a car guy to like explain everything like suspension and all this other stuff, but I just really enjoyed it, being somebody that like enjoys driving sports performance cars. I really liked it. So
yeah, and that's where I think personally Audi has a winner. Like we didn't get a chance to drive that specific Audi, but like we've driven the Taycan 4S, which it's based on the same platform. Yeah. So, like, I agree with you. Like, I like the cockpit feel. Like, I like being lower to the ground and having the car, like, around you as your hands are up. And just, like, the way that the two-speed gearbox, handles and, like, the sound the car makes, it's impressive. Not to mention, I think it's one of the sexiest cars ever, like, produced at the moment. Like, it's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good looking car, and you mentioned the sound too. I think that car has the best sound I've heard out of an EV yet, which I think is a hard thing to get right. I didn't hear the Taycan sound though, so that might be competing with it because I know Porsche did some stuff there as well.
Yeah, it's similar, but I think the Taycan is more of like a rumbling sound. It definitely almost it's hard to describe. Like, I know this isn't like actually happening, but like you can almost see like the sound forming around the car when the Taycan's on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just my brain, but yeah. But the Audi did a great job with making it sound futuristic as well as like pure muscle at the same time. Yeah.
Because anytime somebody hopped in there and pulled away with it or like did an acceleration in it, you could hear it and it sounded cool. It didn't sound like a gas car where it's like rumbling super loud. It sounded like a jet taking off, like super smooth and like that electronic kind of acceleration. So that was probably one of my favorite parts about that car, because that's such a unique feature that I don't think a lot of brands are really thinking about, but I think it's something a lot of consumers actually want.
Oh, absolutely. And, to jump back to the Mach-E GT, that's what I really liked about the sounds that car made, because I think that's the thing that, like, a lot of people say that they miss about gas when they go to an electric vehicle is, like, kind of that, like, different, experience with, like, the engine sounds and, like, all that, the revving. But I love that these manufacturers are, like, filtering some of this, like, faux sound into the car. It really changes the whole experience.
Yeah, the propulsion sound... Like, I remember we kept on, like, switching it on and off to, like, hear the difference, like, in the Mach-E.
Yeah.
And it's, like, I would keep it on forever.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like it over time, but, like, that and, like, the Porsche and the Audi, it's, like, I would keep those sounds on forever. Like, they sounded so good.
Especially and the beauty of an EV is you can turn it off, right? So
yes.
You can't do that in a gas car. Sometimes you do want a like quiet, peaceful ride, and you can't like switch off the engine to to make it quiet. So.
That's actually a very fair point.
So speaking of Porsche, on the same platform, we got to see the Cross Turismo there as well, which I don't think any of us have seen in person, right?
That was the Sport Turismo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because that's the Is it the Sport Turismo?
Yeah, because the Cross Turismo is one that has the cladding.
Oh, okay.
And the Sport Turismo is the GTS only that has.
Oh, I didn't realize they changed the name.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed that on the back of it.
Oh, interesting.
When I was taking a look at it.
Oh. Yeah, I definitely glossed over that. Yeah, so we got a chance to see the new Porsche Taycan GTS Sport Turismo, which is pretty much the same body style as the Cross Turismo, just without the plastic cladding.
And lowered.
And different rims and different technology. In terms
same
of like
body
some of
shape though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It pretty much looks identical except just, some aspects. But that was pretty cool to see in person. That red.
It was.
That red that was on that was incredible. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, Alex, but did you see the sunroof? How you could change the different patterns and like.
Oh no! And, I forgot to look at that.
Fog it over. We forgot to look at it too, and we kept seeing all these videos from that weekend, or from this past weekend, and it was like the glass was dancing, like the patterns were changing, and
I forgot to ask. I forgot to ask to have that turned on, but I did sit in it for a little bit, just kind of like. It reminded me so much of the 4S, just with an actual boot in the back.
Yeah.
But it was so nice. But I didn't turn on the roof. But I saw like other videos. I'm like, that's the coolest thing. Like that's a cool feature.
Yeah. If we can, we'll try to get one of the videos from this weekend and post it, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because it was super cool to see. Yeah. That was a cool car.
Definitely. Did you like it better than the? Because you drove a 4S, right?
Yeah, the 4S.
Your video. Did you like it better than that one?
For me, red and black is my favorite color combination. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
And plus,
Good answer.
I like the wagon style. Like
That's literally my dream car. Is the one that we saw. I love red, but I probably do blue, to be honest, or purple, because I know they offer
like
purple.
the Matrix. We can have one red one and one blue one.
Yeah, one red one, blue one. But like, Porsche's the only one so far, but I'm a big wagon guy. So Porsche's the only one so far that has made an electric station wagon, or like wagon. Obviously, it's not affordable for us quite yet.
Not yet.
It will be eventually, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it home, but it was a German spec, so obviously we can't take it home.
Yeah, and we couldn't drive that one either, which was a little disappointing, but still cool to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. We were some of the first people in the world to see that, I believe.
I know.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Also, the Rivian showed up for a little bit on Sunday. That was, like we said, super weird. It was there. It pulled up, and you could see everybody with their cameras like turn towards the Rivian as it rolled up. It was like I had more fun watching all the people like react to it than than the actual car when it first rolled up.
It was like bees to honey. Like I just remember seeing it turn the corner, and it was almost like time stopped. I was like captivated. But it was like bees to honey. Everybody like ran to it the moment it parked.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts of that?
I don't know why. Like, I live in America. I feel like I should be used to this by now, but I'm always struck by how big trucks are.
Oh, right.
I'm like, and that wasn't even that big of a truck. Like, it's only got a 4.5-foot bed. Like, it was jacked up pretty high. Like, had some big tires on it, but it was just so big. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that size. But I think that's definitely like a car that just has a ton of great like camping and outdoor features. Like I don't think any EV is like anywhere close to that right now. So and you could tell right away just like by looking at the car, the different, like everything's very manual on the outside of it. It's got a lot of good camping accessories and stuff like that built into the car already that just like comes standard.
Yep.
So it was neat. It was really neat.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite features of that I didn't even like notice at first is that when you lock the car, it chirps like a bird, so you're not disturbing nature.
That was so cool.
I kept hearing chirping, and I'm like, what is that? And Tyler and Lexi from Out of Spec was like, that's the Rivian. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, I mean, they really thought of like every aspect of what that car can do for the driver as well as nature. Like,
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. And
I had fun going through the gear tunnel.
You made it like a playground.
I did. For my short little self. And we do obviously have a short out there on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. But I had fun, small little me crawling through the gear tunnel.
Yeah, I was thinking, Alex, do you think you and I would have fit through that?
I should have tried it because what's his name? Brandon, sorry. Yeah. Other Brandon fit through it. So he's similar size to us. I feel like we would have fit through there.
Yeah. I should have tried it just for the Instagram post.
Yeah. I think we were all a little afraid to like touch it too because they weren't even letting people sit on the interior of that. So that was a little nerve-wracking. But
yeah. We got some good footage of that. That will definitely make some good first impression videos.
Definitely. Yeah, it was really cool. I definitely see that vehicle being successful. Just if they can ramp up production, I think that might be their biggest hurdle is just cranking those trucks out because a lot of people want them. But you want the R1S, right? After seeing that one, you think that's your car eventually.
Yeah, I like I've said, and I'm going to stick to this until I get one. I want a boxy electric SUV. And the R1S. I mean, after seeing the R1T, it just checks every box. I mean, it's rugged but also fashionable. Like in a way, like it's just such a good looking car.
Yeah.
Like props to Rivian for making such a nice car.
definitely. It looked really refined too. Like I was impressed. Like I know some of the early Teslas were like super like kind of like janky put together. But it really like I didn't sit in the interior like touch around or like or mess with anything too much, but it looked really solid. Like the paint looked really good. Like all that stuff I was really impressed with. It really looked like a finished car versus like a prototype. So
Absolutely.
Which I think it was. That was a production car, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, not to mention the paint color. It was that was Rivian blue.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a teal blue in the sun, and then like a nice ocean blue. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
That's the color I would want on a Rivian.
Yeah,
is that blue?
Yeah.
I love. Oh, when I saw it in person, I'm like, thank God it's that color because I'm so excited.
Tyler was so funny before we flew to Los Angeles. Tyler was just like, I'm gonna scream when I see the Rivian. And when it pulled up, Tyler was talking to Lacey from Misco Electric, and I was like, you didn't scream, and Tyler just goes, ah.
That's funny.
Because that's besides the Taycan, the R1T is like my dream truck, like dream EV period. Is that because I want the kitchen, the pull-out kitchen, and then I want the Yakima tent for the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want it to be like, ready for camping because we like camping. One day.
We'll make it happen.
I loved it. I loved it, though. I was surprised with some of the materials. I didn't touch too much, but the stuff that I did, I'm like, oh, this feels really nice.
Yeah.
Like, high quality, really, really nice. So I was really surprised.
Did you notice the floor mats in it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you take a close look at those?
Yeah.
I totally glossed over that.
Okay, they looked like bamboo, honestly, didn't they? Like a bamboo, like mat type thing.
Yeah. I've seen photos.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it's made out of. I always thought it was like a carpet material.
But I felt it, and it was kind of like a bamboo vinyl texture is what it felt like. They were really nice. Like,
that's what it
really,
looked like.
really nice. That was the first thing I saw. I mean, because I'm short, so like I just saw like the floor mats, and I'm like, "Oh, those are cool." It was eye level.
It was a tall truck. I think that was one thing that surprised me too, was just how tall that thing is. Like,
definitely,
it's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in the market for an electric truck and can wait a little bit, I would hold out for the Rivian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After seeing it in person.
Yeah, I'm torn because we have a reservation in for the Lightning, and I really like the Rivian. The only thing it's missing, I think, that the Lightning has over it is the vehicle to grid stuff. I think is the only thing it's missing. But if you want like an adventure truck, a truck that you do want to take camping, like is more rugged, like that's the truck for you. And I think the bed is a little bit disappointing that it only comes in a 4.5 foot variant. I know you can extend it to be a little bit longer, but if you're buying this as a work truck, it might not check all the boxes. So those are kind of playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah. And I will say, who needs vehicle to grid when you can just cook from the Rivian? Like, you don't even need a house at that point.
That is true.
Like, sell your belongings. Go buy a Rivian.
That's their new ad campaign, I'm sure.
It should be.
That's great. I think we only have one car left, right? Isn't it the EQS?
So the Xc40 Recharge was there.
Oh, yeah.
I sat and played around in it, but I didn't drive it, so.
Yeah, we didn't drive it. I got a chance to sit in one at the Seattle Auto Show. Was highly impressed by the quality.
But from what Kyle from Out of Spec said, it's exactly like the Polestar. It's the same platform. It's the same powertrain. So because we were so familiar with the Polestar, I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably just an SUV version of what we drove. So I didn't really feel the need to take it out. Which is
still over 400 horsepower.
Yeah. Did it have the same interior and stuff? Did it have the same touchscreen and all that?
It has the same Google, because I know Volvo has updated some of their products to have the same Google UI. Yeah. The dashboard is similar but also different. So they make it kind of close but kind of not. The one thing that I will say is the Polestar key, for those who are listening, is just super cheap plastic, like very, very cheap. But if you hold a Volvo key, like the Xc40 Recharge, it was like nice metal and glass. So it actually felt like the proper key for the money. Where it's like, if you're spending like $67,000 on like a fully loaded Polestar, it's like you get a plastic key.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that is one major difference between both of them. Like,
yeah.
And it still feels like a Volvo. You know, like my first car was a Volvo C30, and like you get into it and it still feels super familiar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one car I kind of wish we would have drove, but
was that?
Yeah, we have friends in the area.
We have friends that have one,
so
That makes it easier.
Yeah,
I think we were very focused on trying the cars we wouldn't have chances to, other than that event. So
yeah. Did you drive that one, Alex?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I honestly ignored it for the most part because I thought it was the same thing as the Polestar, but apparently it wasn't. So I probably should have at least sat in it and kind of messed around with it some more.
Come up to Cleveland. We'll find one to record with.
So one car left. The Mercedes EQS.
The Mercedes of electric cars.
Yeah. What was your should we spoil the intro now or should we wait for
No. We have to save that.
Just know that it was like a cologne. Well, we did our best to make it like a cologne commercial. Like I think it was pretty cheesy, but
it is.
I loved every moment of it.
That's the brand. You got to stick with it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Subscribe to Everyday EV. That's what you expect. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that car was ridiculously luxurious. Like, I mean, it was a Mercedes on the inside. I think on the outside, I wish that they had done a different design in terms of like the exterior design, but the inside was just pure Mercedes. I loved it.
The back looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
The back of the Mercedes. I loved the taillights. I wasn't the biggest fan of the front. Like the front end, I don't know. I know it's very different compared to like new S-Class or new E-Class. But
it wasn't doing it for me either. It was not impressive, honestly. And I'm wondering if that's because they were so focused on like making an aerodynamic car for some reason.
Probably.
Because I know their range numbers are insane. So like there had to be some incentive to make it look like that versus kind of more like luxury looking. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with the exterior for the most part. The back end looked okay, but the front end, it was like they could have done something a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. So Alex, you got to ride. We got to chauffeur you around Pasadena.
That's right.
Yes, you got a chance to sit in the back. What were your thoughts back there?
I was telling everybody that was the most comfortable backseat ride I had been in, especially being a taller person. Back seats are usually pretty cramped, and my knees are against the seat in front of me. And in that car, I had so much room. Like I sat up comfortably. The seats had pillows on them. Like I was like, what is this? So it was an enjoyable experience. I think that's definitely like if you want to like impress your rich person you're chauffeuring around, like pick them up in an EQS.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually your first taste of my California driving.
That's right.
Because I drove you around. Was that better in the EQS than the Polestar?
It's a toss up, but I think the EQS edges it out just a little.
Yeah. It's because we had perfume, circulating.
Yeah, I think that's definitely why.
Yeah. So to talk about like comfort creature comforts, I always get that like switched. Comfort creatures. The Mercedes EQS that we got to drive had the hyper screen, which is like 56 inches of total screen all across the dashboard.
Insane.
It was nuts. But like I think the biggest thing that impressed me is that like driving at night, the screens weren't intrusive. Like it wasn't like blinding me.
It makes me mad about that screen that they call it a 56-inch screen, even though it's just three individual screens.
It's three, I know.
And one sheet of glass over top of them, so it looks like they're like a giant screen, but it's just three screens that they got.
Could you imagine if that was all one screen? Like how beautiful that would be.
That's what I kind of thought it was from some of like the render images and like concepts and stuff, but like I don't want to say that I was like unimpressed because it was definitely impressive, but I think it was like almost like false advertising there, where I like thought it was going to be this like continuous big like bezel-less display, which is probably like a completely dumb idea to have that it's going to be like that. But I think it was so overwhelming too with the amount of features on there. We noticed it's like we could have spent 2 hours poking through that whole menu and figuring everything out.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I think my favorite feature was the hot stone massage feature that it had. I mean, like our ID4 has massage seats, but it's literally like a balloon inflating.
Yeah, it was not like the Mercedes where you would like punch your back.
Oh my god, it was like...
I was like, oh.
It literally felt like Alex was like punching the back of the seat. Like. Yeah, that thing was nuts.
I have to say, for me, when I got a chance to drive, I think it was the augmented reality in terms of directions. Because I had Brandon had the heads-up display turned off. I had it turned on. And I just tested out the navigation just to see what it was like. And it was so cool to get directions from that. Because the arrows would get larger as you get closer to the point of where you need to turn or what, side of the street you need to be on. And I thought that was so cool. I've never experienced that in a car before.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like that.
I don't think many cars have that. Yeah.
So there was way too many features to go through in the short period that we had it, but I think that was probably my favorite one. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And the seats lit up too. I mean, like there was LED accent lightings everywhere.
Yeah.
I will end my personal note on this car with the fragrance that you said you couldn't smell.
I could not. Yeah.
What's so crazy about this car is that there's like a little like dispenser for like a perfume or like a type of fragrance you can buy. I think it's like $150 a fragrance, which is crazy. I say just put Febreze in it or something. The one that was in our car, I deemed it Oceanic Rose because it was like a salty rose scent. But
I could smell it.
Yeah, I think it smelled good.
It just smelled good.
Yeah, with that hot stone massage, like talk about falling asleep while driving.
I mean, like, seriously.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about autopilot. We got to worry about the Mercedes massaging us and and spraying out nice smells.
We got a little cameo from Orchid.
Oh, we got a visitor.
Hi.
Hi, Orchid.
You going to be on the podcast?
You're going to be famous? You want to come up here?
This is the nation's leading EV podcast. I'll have you know.
Right.
The one time I was in the driver's seat when I was you guys were recording the lights dance it did when it turned on.
Oh yeah.
The one time I hopped in the driver's seat, I didn't realize the seat literally like hugs you when you sit down. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah.
definitely need that in like every car I've ever been in.
Yeah. Yeah, all the seats do that. I think the back seats do that too, right? You
Did they? I must not have noticed it then, or
at least
maybe I like got in too late. But
at least that's what Jesse told me it did.
Okay.
Yeah, that car is just like so inviting, like the Hello Mercedes like assistant for the MBUX system.
Yeah,
she was pretty cool. I liked her. she
Although I had asked Hey Mercedes a joke. It played the same joke as what our ID4 says, which I thought was funny because I feel like it's all the German companies share the same jokes.
Yeah. Should we say it on the podcast or watch the video?
Yeah, you can watch it. I think
this is all just a big teaser for our videos.
Yeah,
so. It is.
As Tyler says, smash that subscribe button.
Smash.
That's right.
Honestly, actually, I do have a question for you. Since we were in California, the world of EVs and like alternative fuel vehicles, did you see one that like surprised you, like when you're in California that you haven't seen before?
Obviously all the ones at the event, but that was kind of expected. I think what surprised me the most was just the amount of EVs. I think I made the comment when we first got there. It's like in Ohio, it's like maybe you see like one or two when you're out driving, like especially in Columbus, pretty like progressive city. Like a lot of people are starting to drive electric here, so I see them a lot when I'm out driving. But in California, it's just on a whole other level. Like you can't like turn your head without seeing one in your frame of view, like which is completely different. Like even just driving to the event, we were at this big charging plaza with a bunch of Greenlots chargers, and the Tesla urban superchargers were there as well. So we got to see a ton of cars coming in and out the whole time. And there were cars charging there all day. It wasn't like it was like there was any dead spot where there was no cars charging. There was like at least one car there the entire time, which was really cool. Definitely like makes me excited for the future of EVs.
Yeah. Same here. I think the one car that surprised us the most, like I think you might agree with it, is just the sheer amount of Toyota Mirais. Like
everywhere.
Like the new one. I mean, like I saw one of the older ones, but like the new body style everywhere we looked. There was a different color. There was a new one. Like just blew my mind how many Mirais were there.
Well, it's like, besides California, there's really no other place for hydrogen. So it's like a lot of those cars, like we just don't see it all.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. And that RAV4 EV.
The RAV4, the what was it? Is that the second gen RAV4 EV?
Yeah.
That was really cool to see with a Tesla battery.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, I think the first thing we noticed when we got off the plane and we're driving to our hotel, we noticed gas prices when we were driving.
Oh my god!
And I think that certainly contributes to the ask for more alternative fuels in California, because I'm looking at the picture right now. Regular gas was over $5, like just insane. Granted, we're like by the airport, but I don't think over $5 is like uncommon in California in some areas. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people are hungry for something better in the vehicle space.
Yeah, and on top of it, that's actually good to note. Our entire time there, we didn't spend any money on fuel because we didn't pay for charging. We only had to pay for parking. So the time it took us to charge our Polestar, we did it for free. So yeah.
Whereas if we were in a
very nice,
if we were in a gas rental, we would have probably gotten it with like close to a full tank and drove around all weekend. We drove like an hour from the airport to get to our hotel. We drove all the way over to West Hollywood. That was like another long hour drive. Did a lot of just driving around, going to restaurants and stuff. And if we did that in a gas car, we would have probably spent like a lot more.
Oh yeah.
So
this is why we live electric.
That's right.
Yep.
And it was like, I think going to a random city I hadn't been to before and renting an EV would have been like a little nerve wracking because I didn't know like the lay of the land. But I think in California, especially the area we were in, like in LA, like it's so dense and there's just chargers everywhere. So it was definitely comforting to know that. Any closing thoughts here or things you want to leave our audience with before we sign off?
Yeah, I just want to thank Kyle and the Out of Spec team for like creating this opportunity for us content creators to come out to California and get a chance to see these cars. I definitely think that was such a great opportunity to meet other EV enthusiasts, get our name out there as well, and I want to do it again. So if it happens again, Everyday EV will be there.
We'll be there.
So, other than that, I just want to thank both of you guys for such a memorable weekend. Like it was such a fun time.
It was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely like you, looking forward to do something like that again. Thanks again to the Out of Spec team. Definitely a very well run event. I like that it was structured, but also not at the same time. It was like we have these cars, but like go do what you want, like because that's really what a lot of content creators need, is just kind of creative freedom to do stuff. So, had a great time and definitely looking forward to do it again. I think if anybody has things you want to see about a vehicle we discussed on the podcast, definitely message us on social media so we make sure we cover it in our videos. And then I also wanted to plug that if you do know of any guests or like people that want to be on the podcast, definitely reach out and let us know, because we're probably going to start planning for our next season here and going to be needing guests for that. So that's all I've got.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great way to end the show.
Okay.
Yeah, we look forward to having you guys on our show.
Definitely. Cool. Talk to you all in the next episode, and have a safe holiday.